Riverfly Census is fundamentally a project that's been undertaken by Salmon Trout Conservation, and we're roughly now at the end of a 3-year survey across a large number of rivers in the UK.
The Riverfly Census exists as a nationwide programme to look inside our rivers beneath the water to understand what's happening to the insects at a species level, so that we can understand the issues that are occurring in our water, and then we can take action against them to conserve wild fish and all the species that depend on those bugs as well.
The vision for salmon and trout conservation is to support wild trout, salmon and sea trout populations to grow and thrive, but also all of the creatures around that rely on that water source. And also to make sure that the quality of that water is clean enough and robust enough to support that life.
So you might be wondering, well, what role does invertebrate life play within a river system, and how important is it? It's extremely important. It's the base of the food chain. And that food chain doesn't just support, for example, the fish populations in the river like trout, grayling. It has a big impact beyond the ecology of just the aquatic system. There's an old saying that without evidence, you're just another person with an opinion, and it's very true. The investigations are quite detailed. We take detailed samples of the wee beasties that live in the river. They're analysed to species level, and from that, because they all have different tolerances to different types of pollution, we can get a fingerprint of the actual condition of the river at that point. So it will tell us how much sediment, how much flow, how much phosphate, how much pesticides are moulding the ecological condition of the river.
The riverfly insects are telling us that there are pressures in the water. There is an excess of phosphate, there is an excess of sediment, and we're ruining the habitat and the food webs for these creatures. So we need to step up and afford them better protection.
I don't think I'd be being too dramatic or too sensationalist to say that if we do nothing now, if we live in this vain hope that it will all reverse itself, we will see freshwater environments and rivers in the United Kingdom reaching a critical level in terms of their population of wild fish. It is absolutely essential that we use the knowledge that we've gained through our scientific research to enact real change.
If we lose our insects, then we lose our bird life, we lose the fish life, and the habitat as a whole is going to suffer.
I don't want to be one of those doom and gloom people that says it's all going down, it's never going to be fixed. Because if we do change things, they will be fixed. And we will have populations of salmon and trout and sea trout that are around for future generations, and that's what really speaks to me personally. I want to see an environment where my children and my children's children can go out and see salmon jumping in a river on their migratory run, can watch a fantastic mayfly hatch on a river across the UK and see wild fish feeding and behaving as they have done for thousands of years.